YouTube? Alright, so this is the new Let's Try to Design with series in the new location. AKA, we just moved and I'm so happy to be here. You have no idea, this house is freaking amazing. But, obviously we're not unpacked. Well, not obviously, I kind of staged this to be the only nice looking shot in the room. Everything else is in boxes and there's just stuff skewed about the floor. I've got cables running everywhere. The office, however, is fully functional. Not mine, the Oh Hello office. And I got all the cords tied up, which that is a nightmare. There should be something better than 1,000 cords to connect everything. And I think that needs to happen tomorrow. Or a couple days ago, and then I get upset and hear about the advancement, and I had to do all that. It spent weeks, not really, but it seemed like it, but hours trying to get that all organized underneath the desk. But now it is done, it looks gorgeous, and then I get to play in my area. So I wanted to do a design with me just to get back into the groove of things, and then I promise starting next week we are going to have some really cool content alongside with these design with me's. So I'll always be doing these design with me, so as I'm designing stuff, you guys can get sneak peeks of stickers coming out, and you can see all the cool stuff that Oh Hello is doing, and just, you know, how we grow and progress. But there's also going to be a lot of new things. So the Let's Try To series, which I talked about earlier, which is basically where I try to do things, and even if I don't know how to do them, I'll walk through the process, and it'll be partly, you know, computer talking shots like this, or vlogs. It's a little bit of everything, but we can cross that bridge when we get there. So let's talk about today. So we've got my handy dandy Foxy Dory Midori thing here, and this has all the new stickers, ideas, and concepts and things in it that we've talked about, and it's a little skimpy because we have been so preoccupied with moving. But let's see. Magical creatures, unicorn and narwhals, cat and dog, frog, make patterns out of old stickers. That could be fun. But I feel like I'm beating patterns to a dead horse so far. Adulting stickers. You guys asked for it. Let's do adulting stickers and see how that turns out. So let's go ahead and switch over to the super cool second webcam thing. Alright, this is my editing screen. This is the list of adulting things I came up with. I'll probably add to it and subtract from it. But I've got, like, I did the laundry, did my taxes, only cried a little today, I got there on time, I paid bills, I didn't get fired, I got dressed, I killed the spider myself, hashtag adulting, I put on a bra because I know I'm a dude, but most of the people who like our stickers are ladies, and I know that can be an issue. I'm sensitive. Cooked a real dinner, went to bed at a respectable time, and some others. So let's go ahead and let's do I did the laundry, because I know for sure we're going to want to do that. So I've got my circle, which I opened up from the side toolbar under the ellipse tool, which is an L, and we've got it here. So now we've got our basic shape. Now we're going to have to do some things to make it laundry. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to put a little, like, icon, just kind of, I'm sketching this out on the computer to kind of show you what I'm thinking, is we'll do an icon in the middle, and then we'll do text all, like, here, and we'll do text on the bottom, too. So, like I said, I just use Control-Z to go back to our circle. We've got our circle, and that way we can do colors, too. So, let's just pick a nondescript color. Let's try something a little different. I'm going to give it a stroke. So that way when we cut out, we've got this darker outer rim in a lighter color. And we'll do that for all the different colors. So if we do like a light blue inside, we can do a dark blue outside. And I use the X command, so the X button, to swap over here between fill and stroke. So if I'm trying to pick colors, I can be like, I want, you know, this color on the inside, and I want this color on the outside. So that's what I did. We'll do blue, because I think that's a good starting off point. And we'll have to mess with thickness, but I think that's a good thickness for now. Maybe the inside needs to be lighter. So we've got kind of the idea there. So let's go ahead and make our laundry basket. And I'm going to do a rounded corner. And using the up and down arrows on your keyboard, you can increase or decrease the rounded corners while you're holding this down. And so I know my laundry basket has some pretty round bottom corners, and I'm only looking for the bottom right now. So we'll call that good. Obviously we don't want it to be blue. It would blend in. We want this to stand out. That was weird. Don't do that again, Alex. Alright, so let's switch that. Let's drop the outline. So we've just got our inside right there. And I'm just going to pick a nice dull gray, because they never make laundry. Laundry baskets only come in like boring, dull colors. Someone should make like a bright line. So I'm going to use the direct select tool up here. Shortcut key command A. We're going to highlight these two corners. And that allows us to interact with these points directly instead of the regular select tool, which moves everything. I can highlight these points. So I'm going to highlight them and use my arrow keys to give us a little bit of a slant, like a real laundry basket would, like that. Now this super bugs me down here, because you go from straight up to straight out. So the way we can fix that is up here you've got a convert tool, and this will convert it to there. If you highlight your point, if you do this, it'll say you want a straight edge, which is what we've already got. I'm going to hit round, and what that does is it'll smooth out the point. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to repeat that same process, highlight and just click that. So now I know I'm balanced. But let's say I got this side really perfect, but not this side. What we could do is cut this in half and then duplicate this over, and then I'd have a perfect mirrored image. But for my purposes and everything, this works great for me. They don't need to be, because the detail's so small and this isn't ever going to get, like I said, blown up on a big chalkboard or billboard or anything. I don't really need to be super precise. As long as it's like within 1 or 2 pixels of each other, you're not going to notice it on a printer. So now we've got our start of our basket. Maybe come in, highlight the top, and just click down on the top two, and that'll give us a little harsher edge up there. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's give our basket some handles. Take the round tool, holding shift so we get a perfect circle. Put that there. Give it a dark handle. I don't know if I want handles or how that's going to work yet. Probably not. See? It's all about trying it and deleting it and just keep working on it. If you ever like something and you want to keep working, I really recommend, if you're like, maybe highlight everything, alt drag, duplicate it so you're not getting rid of it, and you can always go back and see what was it that made that so cool. So now we're here. Let's go ahead and we'll take the same tool we made it with. Using the up and down, we're going to give it some air holes because this is a laundry basket and they have those. We'll do that. We want to make it white. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this set up perfectly there. Then I'm going to alt drag, which is going to duplicate it, and holding shift so it's on the same line, and that's why you're seeing that green line up here. That's going to show you that you're perfectly, the centers are in line with each other. We'll put that over here. Now right click, transform, reflect. We're going to want a vertical reflect, so it's going to put it over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to highlight these two things, and we're going to go up here to object, and we're going to go to blend, and this is really cool. So we're going to go to blend options, and we don't want smooth color. What we want is specific steps. And what we're doing here is we're going to make it so there's a gradient between these two. And what I mean by gradient, not just color, but like so they tilt a little bit each time in between the two. And you'll understand as soon as I hit OK. So I'm going to say let's try 8 for now. It's a small sticker, so you got to remember that. Now that tells us, the blend options says this is what I want to do. Now when you click make, it does it. So what it did is it took this shape here and this shape here and then merged them together 8 different times to get from one to the other. And I think that worked really great. But a thing to remember is this is an effect, meaning it's really only these 2 shapes, and this is just something the program is doing. Now, if you want to interact with this and make it better or be able to edit it later, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come in and highlight it, and it'll do that. Come up here to Object and click Expand. And Object and Fill selected, meaning it will expand any objects and fills. So pretty straightforward. Hit OK. Now each one of these, instead of being just an effect that was applied to these 2 shapes, they're their own shapes. So we can go ahead and click on Group, and you can see that we can now, each one is individual and articulate. And actually, I kind of like how these are a little sloppier than these 2 perfect ones, so I'm just going to get rid of the edges. We can go ahead and highlight everything except for the background, and we're going to hit Alt and drag. When you hold Alt and adjust the shape, instead of duplicating, what it does is it reflects the adjustment. So instead of me just moving it one side, Alt will do both sides at the same time, keeping our center point. So I'm going to highlight. Now I'm going to Alt drag down, not on a adjustment handle, and we'll go ahead and just delete these edges. Highlight the basket, and we'll work it until we feel like we got it right where we wanted it. Maybe hold the Alt button, make them a little wider. Yeah, so that's not a bad little laundry basket we got, but nobody knows what it is. It could be a cheese grater, so we need some laundry. So what I'm going to do is I want the laundry to show through these white holes. But since in reality these are, their own shapes, each one, the only way to do that is either A, we can go through and highlight different ones, but it's going to make it look a little obvious that this isn't what's going on back there. So, because I want the laundry to show through, and that's going to make it look more like a pattern, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight everything, come over to Pathfinder, and we're going to minus front. So that's right here. And if you don't have this in your toolbar, you can find Pathfinder under Windows, Pathfinder. Anytime I'm saying, come over here and do this, and it's not there, Window, these are all the windows that are available that you can activate and deactivate at your leisure. So let's go ahead and highlight it all. Bloop. What did we just do? Nothing looks like it changed. Well, you'd be wrong, dang it. Because now, if I draw this awesome duper duper cool shape, and I put it behind it, you can see that we kind of cookie cuttered out those white holes, and now they don't exist. And this gray shape now has those. And this gray shape now has those holes in it that you can see through. So as we're building our laundry basket, it's going to look a lot more natural. And it's a small detail, but it's an important one. Okay, so let's throw in some laundry. For the inside, you're really not going to be able to see any t-shirts or anything if we're going to kind of go that route. So we can just kind of take a square, make it pink, Control-Shift left bracket, throw it to the back, and use your V tool and just kind of, we don't want to duplicate the front, what we want to duplicate is in here. And go ahead and, I guess we could do it this way. Control-Shift back. Do it in front for now. That way we're not fighting the program. Just make a lot of little shapes over the white holes. Now that you've done that, we're going to come in and just pick different clothes. These are, represent our different kind of clothes we have. Some orange shirts, greens. It's a nice color palette. I'm just going off the standard colors. Maybe we got a black shirt in there. And then we're going to select the background, Control-Shift right bracket. And now we've got kind of like our jumbled bunch of clothes. Maybe this is a patterned shirt here or whatever. But you don't know, and you don't need to know because it's a jumble. You can't handle the truth. So now what we need to do is build ourselves a little slot pile, and we're going to use the pen tool for this. So the edge of the basket, the plastic, would be right here, so we're going to start a little below it and come up and just kind of give ourselves a nice little round, so, you know, some kind of slump like that. Come in and pick a different color. And same kind of thing, we're going to take this, and you could duplicate this if you wanted, maybe make it over here, move it down a little so it's not as noticeable, change the color. But as we're going through, you don't want to do that too many times because it's going to be obvious that you've taken one shape. So then you're going to come in and do it again above it, and you're going to come in and, you know, keep building your pile up. There's maybe a pair of blue jeans that got on top of everything, and or a blanket, so it's a little... and it doesn't need to be as, you know, wrinkly as the first one. Fabric folds. Fabric finds a way. You just come through and fill in all that white space. If you don't connect it, you don't connect it. Not a big deal. So yeah, I would recommend doing, like, in the background, some big, like, blanket type, just smooth curves. Nothing too fancy. Kinda slow, like that. And then what we'll do is we'll take this guy, Control-Shift left bracket. Well, start with that one. And then Control-Shift left bracket, so that's there. We'll just Control left bracket and put that over there. Maybe give it a different color since we got a lot of blues going on. And see, even if they peek down, it's totally fine because that's natural. It'll probably help with a little bit of consistency. So now we've got like the big pile. If you wanted to add just a little more, maybe you got like, you know, a little frilly, delicate, lacy, whatever. You could just make something kind of real tight pattern up here. Make it pink. Control-Shift left bracket. And that's just kind of sticking out. And so we're getting our laundry kind of coming along here. And we'll just keep doing this for a little bit. Alright, so that's our laundry basket, and I think people would recognize pretty quickly that that is a laundry basket. I want to make this a little lighter. I like lighter colors and things. And we don't need to make it so tall. A little shorter. That might goof up a little of what we've done. That's okay. You can always adjust it later, and that's a great thing about Illustrator. There's not really a mistake you can make that can't be undone or done better. Just a chance to learn. I feel like I'm talking like Bob Ross. There's just a little happy tree with some happy laundry. I've got an amazing afro. Alright, so we readjusted those, kind of took those all in. Control-Shift right bracket, bring it back to the front. Bam. Laundry basketized. Highlight the whole thing, Control-G, that makes it a group, so when we interact with it, it moves it all together. And we are going to put that bad boy right in the center of our super duper cool I Adulted Today sticker. Notice how one of my blankets looks like it doesn't belong there, so we're going to have to change the background. I think that's a pretty cool look going on. We'll move the sticker. We can adjust what's in the sticker each time, so we've got that. Okay. So now we've got this. I'm going to just move it to the center of our board because now we need to add some text that says, I did the laundry. Yay. So we're going to take the background. I'm going to Control-C, Control-F, which will put it in front. And that will then let us take our text tool. Now you've got type tool, but under here you've got some cool options. And there's tons. And the ways to use them are beyond what I even know right now. So type on a path tool is what we're looking for though. So you can click and release, and when you highlight it, it will say path and that little green right there. So now we're going to click on it, and what it's done is turn this shape into that path, and we can go ahead and say, I did the laundry. So now we can take that and take our direct select tool. We can rotate it around because it's a circle, kind of get it where we want it, the middle. Take the corner, Alt, Shift, and it's going to bring it in. And we're going to want to say I think right about there is good. And now we got to go zoom in. I did the laundry, double click, and it'll automatically select your type tool. So you can edit it, highlight it. We're going to zoom back out, and we're going to bump that font up. Go ahead and make a white inside. And I didn't adjust the font any, which we can do in a second. And again, holding, just having it slide around. We can position it where we like it. I did the laundry. And maybe add an exclamation point, make it fun. Exclamation points are fun. And maybe I want to come in now and see there's a little negative space here, so I'll take my pen tool and maybe make a little, top of the laundry stack like that. Make it yellow, Control Shift, left bracket. Now it's not grouped with the object, so we're going to highlight both and we'll just Control G. So now there's a group inside of a group, which is fine. It kind of looks like a lemon. Let's move that around. There, maybe a pillowcase. So I did the laundry. Now, of course, we've done this, and I don't know if this is the final color palette. I'm just kind of going off the natural colors that we have. A lot of the times I'll come in and pick different ones through this color library that's at the bottom of the swatch menu. But I think that looks pretty good. I want them to be simple, maybe make them a little bold. So you could do something like that, and again, every time you change it, you got to adjust it, but we could get something fun going on, or maybe pick a fun font. I got a couple new fonts that I just got that I'm still trying to find a way to use them because I love them. And yeah, that's it. And maybe one more thing I could probably teach you is, like, for this one, let's say you wanted the spacing different. Come up here to the paragraph, or to the character, sorry, highlight it, highlight what you're doing, come up to characters. And just like regular font, you can adjust it, and this will change the spacing between, also known as the kerning, between letters. You can come in and change, your font size if you wanted. This is where you can really adjust your font. Make it a superscript, make it a subscript. We don't want either of those. Make it all capital letters, all small caps. So once you type something, you can quickly adjust it. So if you're trying to mess with a couple different designs, this is really where you can come in and goof around with what's going on. So I will goof around and maybe make a couple different versions of this, try different fonts, Now, because we changed the kerning, you can see how tight the letters are on one to another. Well, it's technically spacing, but kerning is almost the same thing. So we could do something like that, and of course the way too close to each other, come back up to characters, maybe select 0 again on some of these, adjust the spacing on it, and you have to have it highlighted, so that's why nothing's changing. Yeah, goofball. There we go. Try that one more time there. Hey there, Bobble. So yeah, we'll mess around with a couple different styles. I really do like this font over here, but maybe a little bolder, and we'll make a whole bunch of these and make them fun. So there we go. That's the first of our adulting stickers. Let's switch back over to my mug. This is what I look like when I'm editing. You guys didn't know this. That's why I have to hide the screens. Yeah, I just looked at myself in the camera to see if I was funny, because I'm narcissistic. Narcissistic. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll keep doing a whole series like this, and maybe this is the way it ends up. I really do like the whole kind of like good job sticker. I think that's what's fun about the adulting, is that it's kind of kiddish in the same time. So thanks for watching, tuning in. Like I said, I will be doing more of these every week, and I will also be doing other stuff. Here, I'll give you a few ideas. I know I've mentioned it before, but now I'm in my new space, and I just feel like this space is so good for me telling you things. It's my secret corner. Kayla can't get mad at me if I ruin any spoilers. She won't know. A whole business series just talking about that. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. One of the first things I want to do is talk about buying a house and the 3 stages of buying a house. Finding it, buying it, moving in. And things we learned. Like, A, before you move in, get your heat turned on. Because we didn't. And we were here, we were about to cook dinner, and they turned our gas off. And we found out it was going to take a week for them to turn it back on. And luckily, I begged and pleaded and was like, I have to have a shower, man. We just moved here. We're kids. And totally played I'm an idiot card and got them to come out the next morning. So we got to cuddle in the extreme tundra, which is Michigan. But it was a lot of fun, and it's probably one of my favorite memories so far with Kayla, is us trying to stay warm under a pile of blankets and clothes. So tons of learning that I would love to share with you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check out Kayla's channel if you want to know more about the house. She's got a house. I'm a robot and I'm breaking down. She's got a fun channel that has some of the house tour stuff coming out and all that kind of stuff. So she'll be more on showing you that stuff. And I will just be teaching you things like how to maintain a house. Because when we moved in, this house looked lovely. But all the things that you're supposed to do every month, like vacuum and do little secret-y things, open up a panel, vacuum here and there, they didn't do. And I will teach you how to keep everything nice, pristine, so you have it for years to come. But thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you want to learn more about that. Or if you like me, I also am here for likes and comments and questions. I like hearing all those, so do that for me in the below section. English is not working today for me. I'm breaking down. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you later.